From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good morning and happy Friday. Right now you're taking a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. Not really seeing any low elevation clouds or fog for this morning except for in the lower Yakima Valley and then also up in higher elevations of the Cascades. Socked in pretty good with fog up that way, and some of this could be some freezing fog as temperatures for this morning hovering right around freezing. Now they're well below freezing in the Cascades, also parts of the Yakima Valley well below freezing, 22 degrees this morning in Yakima, a little bit warmer up in the Kittitas Valley. We're right at 30 at Bowersfield, and we're seeing temperatures right around freezing in the lower Columbia Basin and also in the Blue Foothills. So a good deal of us for this morning are going to have to break out the ice scraper, and all of us certainly need to bundle up. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Given that winds are going to be lighter for today, we could see cold air draining back down into lower elevations, could see some lower elevation gloom returning. And then as we head into the mornings of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, could have some of our coldest air this season. I'll tell you just how cold we could get. And that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, deputies in Benton County opened a death investigation after finding a body near the Columbia River. What we know so far. But first, multiple agencies from the Tri-Cities in an hours-long standoff after a wanted man locks himself inside his Kennewick home. What our very own Monique Ledesma saw at the scene. Also ahead, the ban on TikTok set to take effect Sunday, but there are talks about potentially delaying the ban. We have all the latest details on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Friday, January 17th. We're going to start your top stories off with developing news. So many law enforcement agencies spent several hours in a standoff with a man in Kennewick. And you can hear those flashbangs right there. This happened at a home on the 300 block of South Roosevelt Street last night. Our very own Monique Ledesma was at the scene, and one officer told her they had evidence that the man was inside and armed with a gun. Kennewick, Richland, and Pasco police were all at the scene, along with Benton and Franklin County Sheriff's deputies, also Tri-City SWAT, and the Richland Bomb Squad. Authorities used the flashbangs and they spoke on a loudspeaker to try and get the man to come out of the house. Officers also broke some house windows to send a drone inside. After about 4.5 hours, the man came out of the house and was arrested. He was booked into the Benton County Jail on 2 counts of assault in the first degree, also unlawful possession of a firearm, resisting arrest, and obstruction. The Benton County Sheriff's Office is investigating a death after a body was found near the Columbia River at a park in Findlay. According to Benton County Coroner Bill Leach, the body was found yesterday morning at Two Rivers Park. At this time, a preliminary investigation is underway to uncover the cause of death. And this is a developing story, so we'll update you once we know more. Now to a follow-up, a business owner in Grandview is left picking up the pieces after a fire broke out early Wednesday morning, and this was in the downtown area. Raymond Navarro is the son of Miss Sylvia, who owned the Here by Hope. Navarro says his mom always wanted a shop where she could help people through natural remedies. He says she first started her business back in 1998 and has been at the downtown location for over 20 years. He also says it was his mom's dream to have a place where she was her own boss. But when she got a call at 6:30 that morning, she didn't know that everything would change in just a matter of seconds.
She, let me know that she made it out of the building with just the top that she had on, and I went back in the house, grabbed some clothes for her, and things she needed, and made my way down to the police department where she was waiting. Unfortunately, watching her building burn down from down the street.
I appreciate all the people that have called me because they are worried, but I don't feel so much of the loss. The only thing I feel is that I was left without a home, where to live, and all the people that would come and visit me at my shop.
Since the fire, Navarro has brought his mom to live with him. Her other family members have helped her as well with daily necessities, but she did lose everything as her home was located behind the shop and also was destroyed due to the fire. Now, Navarro has started a GoFundMe page to help her, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but you can find that GoFundMe page up on our website. Rod's House in Yakima opened a new shelter back in November, and since then, they've been able to house more than a dozen young adults experiencing homelessness. And now they're expanding, getting ready to open up the other half of the shelter for those under 18. Our Emily Goodell has the story.
They're still waiting on state approval, but they do have all the infrastructure in place. And now they're receiving some extra funding to make that youth shelter feel more like a home. Thanks to a $30,000 grant from the Pacific Power Foundation.
The Pacific Power Foundation is proud to support Rod's House while they tackle youth and young adult homelessness. And really, it's an honor to be even a small part of that mission.
Rod's House opened half of its new shelter back in November, serving young adults 18 to 24.
Things are nothing but amazing. Our amazing staff have been able to welcome all of our young people to the program.
Day to day, a full house with a wait list, but several young people already getting into housing.
Housing first is key to success, and continuing to implement our life skills and preparing young people to be living alone is what we're doing here.
The organization waiting on final approval from the Department of Children, Youth and Families to open the other half of the shelter to serve youth 13 to 17.
Nothing's guaranteed until we get that email and that approval, but we are hoping to open the doors in the next couple of weeks.
The $30,000 grant going a long way to help reach that goal, but Rod's House always in need of donations. Right now, it's winter clothing.
We want to make sure that young people have something to wear. Specifically now it's super cold and the temperatures are going to get colder next week.
Rod's House is also partnering with Mod Pizza to hold a fundraiser later this month. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. And we have more news out of Yakima. It's good news for the Yakima Valley College Faculty Union. Members are signing a new bargaining agreement with YVC, which comes after 2 years of negotiations. The previous agreement expired back in June 2023 after being rolled over for a year. The new contract includes automatic salary increases for full-time faculty based on their years of service at the college. Also, a clearer process for putting temporarily contracted faculty on tenure track, as well as provisions for more equitable pay.
Last time we were, as the union, communicating to the public, we were saying things are terrible, they won't listen to us, we don't have equity, we don't have transparency, we don't have communication, and we're seeing improvement in all of those, and we really want to praise the institution for moving in that direction.
Union leaders and the administration signed the new contract on January 9th, and it will remain in effect through 2027. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, a Starship spacecraft from SpaceX ends with an explosion on its 7th test flight. We have that video, more of it coming up. But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast.
Call Vance when you need a friendly, reliable electrician. We'll keep your home safe with electrical services and equipment upgrades. Save $50 on any electrical service, plus free electrical safety inspection. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
What are you up to, Alice?
Well, the nice mechanic asked me to check the pulleys.
Wow, I just realized you can see things we can't. I've always wondered what's in those small windows.
It's marketing.
So that's where they hide out.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
What does Dino Casting Call mean?
That seems bad.
I'll get my resume ready.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Come tour the brand new Prosser Memorial Health Hospital. We're hosting open houses on Saturday, January 11th and 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Explore state-of-the-art operating rooms, private patient rooms, and our welcoming cafeteria. Don't forget to visit the Foundation gift shop. Tours will be available in English and Spanish. Join us at the new Prosser Memorial Health Hospital. See the future of healthcare right here in your community. For more information, visit prosserhealth.org. This is how we grow.
It's not what you park in your driveway that makes it home. At McCurley, we understand that. And that's why we go beyond the transaction to provide a complete ownership experience. Because it's the people, the experiences, and the memories awaiting you that make it home. And your vehicle is how you get there.
Drive home in a new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 for only $519 a month.
Vance Heating and Air Conditioning. We promise friendly customer service, highly trained technicians. Save $50 on any heating repair. We service all makes and models. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
Texans, Chiefs, NFL Countdown starts at 11 Saturday morning on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a look at temperatures in Kittitas County as they are cold, right at 20 degrees for Snoqualmie Pass, right at 30 for Ellensburg, and it looks like we're also at 30 in Vantage. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper up that way for this morning. The same thing down in the Yakima Valley where temperatures are spanning from 22 all the way up to 30 degrees. 22 degrees right now officially at the airport in Yakima, 30 for Toppenish, 28 degrees for Grandview, and then in the lower Columbia Basin we're seeing temperatures that are mostly below freezing. 30 for the Tri-Cities, 31 for Benton City, 29 in Connell, so it could also be a bit of a frosty or frozen start there. And then for the Blue Foothills, most of us below freezing, Pendleton being the exception to that rule, and also below freezing up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper for this morning. All of us are going to need the heavy jacket. And here's your day planner throughout the rest of the day. It's still going to be a cold day. We're going to be colder compared to yesterday, but technically a couple degrees above average for this time of the year. Model consensus going with mostly sunny skies all throughout the day for lower elevations, but just keep in mind, given that winds are going to be much lighter for today, that could mean that the cold air could drain back down into lower elevations. We could see some more low elevation clouds and fog and gloom, so that's certainly on the table. Models really struggle with that in this part of the world, so we'll just see how it pans out. But for today, highs technically a couple degrees above average for this time of the year, like I said, so we'll end up mostly in the 30s and 40s, but oh, just you wait. We're going to be much colder for this weekend into the beginning of next week. I'll tell you just how cold coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And we're talking about SpaceX now. So the company has confirmed its Starship spacecraft exploded during a test flight.
The spacecraft took off from the company's Starbase facilities in South Texas yesterday evening. This was its 7th uncrewed test mission.
It was expected to spend about an hour soaring through space before splashing down in the Indian Ocean, but it stopped sharing data not long after the flight began.
SpaceX says Starship experienced a rapid unscheduled disassembly, and the company will review data to determine exactly why it exploded. Shortly after takeoff, SpaceX was able to successfully guide the Super Heavy booster back to a landing at the launch site.
SpaceX plans to eventually use Starship to carry convoys of people to Mars. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the ban on TikTok set to take effect on Sunday, but now we're learning it may be potentially delayed. Details plus what President Biden and President-elect Trump are doing about it. That's in just a few minutes. But first, Josh, what can you tell us about the weekend weather forecast?
Here's a hint. You'll really, really, really want to bundle up. I think that needed one more really, but I'll save the exact details for the other side of the break.
Really?
At McCurley Chevrolet. At At McCurley Chevrolet, the 2024 Silverado 1500 is built to dominate every job, every road, and every adventure. With legendary strength, advanced technology, and rugged capability, the Silverado does it all. Whether you're towing, hauling, or heading off the beaten path. Right now, get huge discounts on the 2024 Silverado 1500. Power, performance, and savings like you've never seen before. Don't wait. Visit McCurley Chevrolet today and take home the truck that works as hard as you do. McCurley Dealerships, your way home.
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood. But I couldn't do it alone. That's where Happel came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought crumble to our community. Where do you credit union?
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters and every path leads to new possibilities. Get $5,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners and lessees get an additional $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase. See your community Chevy dealers.
Life's too short to put up with a bad bank. You have a life, places to go, people to see, and things to get done. You don't have time for banks or credit unions that don't care. You deserve better. At Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, we've served Central Washington and the Columbia Basin since 1905 with 10 branches, face-to-face service, and a 5-star app when you're on the go. So go have fun. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short to put up with anything less. Bank better with Yakima Federal.
Welcome to the unpredictable, the unforgettable, the unbelievable football.
The Houston Texans battle the world champion Kansas City Chiefs in a winner-take-all AFC divisional playoff. Texans, Chiefs, NFL Countdown starts at 11 Saturday morning.
Kelly and Mark will get your heart racing.
She walks so fast.
You're supposed to walk to make your heart
It was
chest.
beating out of my chest, believe me.
Next Live, Chase Stokes.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
A waterfall, a footbridge, and more. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. So far so good when it comes to visibility for lower elevations, except for Sunnyside. It's looking pretty tough right now in the lower Yakima Valley, and also up in higher elevations of the Cascades, socked in pretty good with fog there. And where we do see fog developing for this morning, there's a good chance that it could be in the form of freezing fog, as temperatures for this morning are below freezing up and down the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. We're pretty close to freezing in a good chunk of the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper for this morning, and all of us are going to have to bundle up. Now, a little bit later today, it's going to be cooler as opposed to yesterday, but still technically a couple degrees above average for this time of the year. With lighter winds, that means that we could see cold air draining down into lower elevations. That could result in some low elevation gloom and some low-lying stratus clouds, maybe even some patchy fog. But model consensus for now actually going with mostly sunny to sunny skies for not just lower elevations, but also for high elevations within our viewing area as well. So we'll see how that pans out. And then for tonight, it's really going to be the same dynamic. Model consensus going with clear skies, but just know that we could see some patchy lower elevation freezing fog. Why would it be freezing fog? Because all these overnight lows are going to be below freezing. All of us down into the 20s, so all of us are going to have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. Technically 1 degree above average for today, and then a couple degrees below average into Saturday, and then it looks like the lowest of the lowest of the high temperatures throughout this ordeal going to be on Monday, as we could be about 5 to 10 degrees below average. More seasonal stuff in a Wednesday and Thursday, but the lowest of the low temperatures from this ordeal going to be the mornings of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Could be down to 15 degrees for the Cascades, Valleys, Basin, and Foothills, all the way down to 10 degrees in the Blues. So pretty cold stuff. All of us are going to have to make those plans right now to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, the plumbing, and the people. And we'll keep things pretty dry over the next 7 days, in addition to being cold. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. High stuck in the 30s for Sunday and beyond. The coldest morning will likely be on Monday. In Yakima, lows down into the teens for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, only slightly warmer by next Wednesday and Thursday. Then in Ellensburg, the same cycle as Yakima, down into the teens for the mornings of Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then in Hermiston, highs in the 30s for most, if not all, of next week. Monday morning will likely feature the lowest of the lows. And then in Walla Walla, highs around freezing for Sunday through Tuesday, then only partially thawing out by midweek of next week.
Thank you, Josh. In your national headlines this morning, the future of the popular social media app TikTok is up in the air. A ban is set to take place on Sunday unless the company cuts ties with its China-based parent company. Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with more details.
This morning, with the Supreme Court scheduled to issue one or more rare Friday opinions, court watchers are speculating that a ruling on the future of TikTok could come as early as today.
What am I supposed to do?
The justices are facing a Sunday deadline that Congress set last year when they passed a law requiring TikTok to cut ties with China over national security concerns or be banned in the U.S.
They said that they're going to take away TikTok.
The justices could issue a last-minute temporary injunction that pauses the ban while they weigh the case, or they could let the law stand and do nothing at all. Another possibility, President-elect Trump is now considering an executive order to try and circumvent the law, possibly delaying it for 60 to 90 days. But as ABC's Elizabeth Schulze explains, even that could be difficult.
Because at the end of the day, this ban is part of a bipartisan law that was passed through Congress. It would take a lot for the president to be able to overrule something that's already the law.
Trump originally tried to ban TikTok during his first term and even railed against it during the 2024 campaign, but changed course, later vowing to save the app. TikTok CEO is set to attend Trump's inauguration on Monday alongside other tech CEOs. Trump's incoming national security advisor shared his plans to keep the app from going dark.
He's a deal maker. I don't want to get ahead of our executive orders, but we're going to create the space to put that deal in place.
This week, a group of Democrats in the House and Senate introduced a bill that would have given TikTok's parent company an additional 270 days to sell or divest. However, Republican Senator Tom Cotton objected to it.
Now, the law does say a president can delay the ban if TikTok is on a path to being sold by its Chinese owner, but there's no public evidence yet of that being the case. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, you've probably seen the back and forth legal battle between cast members from the movie It Ends With Us, and it certainly isn't ending anytime soon. We have the latest on the lawsuit filed by actor and director of the film, Justin Baldoni, plus more entertainment news after the break.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,300 off, plus a free thermostat on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and at the new location on West Court Street in Pasco. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. Get the lowest prices on the largest selection of vape mods, classic to tropical vape flavors, batteries, cigars, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Don't waste time in other places. Go to Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Come discover our hand-picked collections at D-Lynn's Boutique. Whether you're shopping for a cozy weekend getaway or a special night out, D-Lynn's Boutique has everything you need to shine this winter. Visit us in-store or online and let us help you wrap the season in style.
Next ET, Hollywood's helping hand after the catastrophic LA fires, plus the impact on future events. Then behind the scenes of the true life thriller September 5.
This is exactly as it went down.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Texans, Chiefs, NFL Countdown starts at 11 Saturday morning on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, there are new developments in the ongoing legal battle between the stars of the film It Ends With Us.
Actor and director of the film, Justin Baldoni, has now filed a lawsuit against Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. He's accusing the couple of extortion, defamation, and invasion of privacy. He claims they used their enormous star power to hijack the film that he both co-starred and directed.
And Baldoni is seeking $400 million in a jury trial, and this comes after Lively filed a lawsuit against Baldoni just weeks ago. She accused him of sexual harassment and launching a smear campaign to ruin her reputation.
Blake Lively's legal team responded in a statement, calling it another example of the abuser trying to turn the tables on a victim.
And there has been a lot of back and forth between the two, and this is still a developing story. And speaking of movies, Regal Cineworld Theaters will soon be getting an upgrade.
The movie chain Giant has announced that it will be installing 4,000 laser projectors in its theaters across the U.S. and some foreign markets.
You know, when I've been sitting in a movie theater, I've never thought that it needed laser projectors,
Me
you know?
neither. Yeah.
Well, it's part of a new deal with cinema tech giant Barco, and the new laser projectors are said to improve the image quality and operations.
They're also better for the environment. The new projectors will be in theaters by 2030.
Okay, Josh, what is your favorite part about being in a movie theater, that movie theater experience?
Well, I'm the kind of person that sneaks in snacks because
I do too.
They're just too expensive at the concession stand. But
yeah,
you're sort of lured in by that popcorn smell. I think you have to get movie theater popcorn.
It's just like, it's fresh too. It's right there.
Yes.
I like the ices, cherry ices, and then the reclining chairs. That's my favorite part.
We were talking about it off camera, but that's like sort of a new experience to me. Didn't have a lot of those back home, so it's a luxury. I really
They're
like
nice
that.
and a little button, and you just keep going back and forth. That's what I do at least. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6:30, we told you previously about the ballot box fires in both Vancouver and Portland, just days before the presidential election, and it's been some time since we heard an update. But FBI officials have finally released new details on the arson suspect.
Those details are in your next half hour.
Meet the Moore family. Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next-level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Find your next way to escape. Go where the adventure awaits you, in the heart of Washington State. Kittitas County is a land of 1,000 journeys. No matter what your heart desires, you can find it waiting for you in the outdoors of Central Washington. See all that you can see, and more will be just around the corner. Whether you're in Central Washington for one of our area's many local events, an historical expedition, a shopping spree, to enjoy a weekend of wine tasting, or just for a night's rest on your way to another destination, there are great Central Washington stays standing by to welcome you. And all that adventuring is bound to leave you hungry. Not a problem in Central Washington. From mom and pop cafes to historic buildings turned into fine dining establishments, we've got you covered. Whether you're dining downtown or enjoying a picturesque river view, you'll find something for everyone in the crew. To begin your experience, visit CentralWashingtonOutdoor.com. It's all just around the corner in Central Washington.
2024 was one for the books at Pingree Ford here in Sela. From helping you find your dream ride to supporting our amazing community, it's been a year we'll always remember. As we step into 2025, we're excited to bring you the latest and greatest in Ford's lineup. Find your perfect vehicle at the right price and take on whatever adventure you've got planned for 2025 and beyond. Come celebrate the new year with us at Pingree Ford, where small town business meets big time selection. Visit us in Sela or check out our inventory online today.
Kick off the new year with a great deal from Overturf Volkswagen. Save $5,000 off every new 2024 Volkswagen Atlas and Atlas Crossport on the lot. Or get 1.9% interest for up to 60 months. Shop online anytime at overturfvw.com. Overturf Volkswagen at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, that jackpot is getting higher and higher. How many days has it been now since you've been getting it correctly?
It's been 19 days. So
you're like, I'm not counting, but it's been 19 days.
To get to 20 days in a row, that would be a big milestone. So I definitely want that.
Fingers crossed.
But if the streak ends at 19 days, someone's winning a lot of money.
True.
So it's sort of, catch 22.
Let's see how much.
Yes. So the jackpot, because of yesterday's forecast, went all the way up to $475. Now, I had to squeak this one out as I went with the forecast high 45 degrees in Pasco, just barely on the edge of that 3-degree threshold. The actual high did verify at 48 degrees, so that's why the jackpot went up. And for today, I'm going with the forecast high 42 degrees in Pasco. So if the actual high falls between 39 to 45 degrees, the jackpot's going to hit $500. But if my forecast goes bust, all $475 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that is on your screen. All right, right now you're taking a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. You see all the pretty lights down below, not seeing any obstructions to visibility in this part of the valley, but in the lower valley, Sunnyside, Toppenish, seeing some pretty thick fog, also some pretty thick fog up towards Snoqualmie Pass. So in those areas, take it slow on the roadways and use the low beams, but visibility looking pretty good right now in the basin and in the foothills and for most of the Blues. Now, where we do have fog developing for this morning, there's a good chance that it would be in the form of some freezing fog, as temperatures you see well below freezing in Sunnyside, well below freezing up in the Cascades. We're right around freezing in the Tri-Cities, technically 2 degrees below freezing at the airport in Pasco, and then we're seeing similar temperatures in the Blue Foothills. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper for this morning. All of us are going to need the heavy jacket, and me personally, I'm going with the heavy jacket all throughout the day in the Tri-Cities. So for today, technically a degree or two above average for this time of the year, and I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we start this half hour off with the follow-up. FBI officials from Portland and Seattle provided updates on the investigation into fire set inside 3 ballot boxes that were both in Vancouver and Portland from October 2024. Authorities now believe a male suspect that may have metalworking and welding experience was behind the 3 fires. They have described him as a Caucasian man aged 30 to 40 who's balding or has very short hair. Authorities also say they are trying to figure out whether the suspect has pro-Palestinian views or used the message to try to create confusion.
We don't know how the suspect interacts with others, but even a loner would likely spend extra time with family, friends, or others, anyone in the Pacific Northwest who may have had unusual interactions with someone or observed unusual activity to come forward and help us identify the individual.
And the FBI is still offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to the ID, arrest, and conviction of the person involved in the crimes. The Washington State Department of Commerce is announcing 27 state and federal funding awards that'll help finance affordable housing units in 12 counties across the state. This will result in 1,282 units of new affordable housing, and these awards will supplement funding from sources such as cities, counties, traditional bank loans, and low-income housing tax credits. Locally, Ellensburg and Kittitas County will benefit from a little over $3 million, and Yakima County will see $3.6 million. And with these frigid temperatures, many people need a place to warm up. That's why the Mid-Columbia libraries have been designated as a warming center by the Ben Franklin Health District. They have library branches all across the region. Carlos Orozco, the Associate Director of Communications for the libraries, says the centers are free and open to the public.
We like to imagine ourselves as a hub for the community, and during cold weather we do the same. So if anyone wants to come in and just sit down at some of our comfortable seating or chairs, or any of our libraries are open for anyone to come in and use.
And in Walla Walla County, First Congregational Church will host the Walla Walla Emergency Warming Center from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. beginning this Sunday, January 19th through Monday. And could the Yakima Air Terminal soon be offering flights to the Portland International Airport? Well, we spoke with Airport Director Robert Hodgman, who says there's not a set time yet on when exactly that'll happen, but he says it could be as early as this summer. Alaska Airlines would offer a daily direct flight with the mid-morning arrival and a late-morning departure. However, those times are still preliminary, and Hodgman tells us with Alaska recently purchasing Hawaiian Air, the chance to get to spots like that is faster, which is something he says he's been working on since he joined the Yakima Airport team about 20 months ago.
We're looking forward to it. Because of the merger between Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Air, Alaska is moving a lot of their domestic connecting flights to Portland. And so this is a benefit not only for passengers wanting to get to Portland, but this provides more options for connecting flights.
The airport is also launching 4 new construction projects this summer. That includes a new baggage claim area and solar canopies in the parking lot, among other things. Also, fun fact, Yakima is using the same architect that PDX used on their recent remodeling. Up next, we get to hear from a Tri-Cities native who's played for the Seattle Mariners. Dan Hansen has who exactly it is and what he's doing now. That is in just a few minutes.
Texans Chiefs NFL Countdown starts at 11 Saturday morning on Apple Valley News Now.
When it comes to what's best in a mattress,
big ol' springs,
memory foam, springs, foam. Denver Mattress says, why not both? Introducing the Doctor's Choice Hybrid with the cooling full body comfort of gel memory foam and individually wrapped coils featuring Boss technology. All packed in this easy to manage box. Choose from the luxury firm, Plush, and Eurotop, and rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. The Doctor's Choice Hybrid, exclusively at Denver Mattress.
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood. But I couldn't do it alone. That's where Happel came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought Crumble to our community. Where do you credit union?
One night, 2 incredible bands. Lit. Fuel. Ignited We Stand Tour 2025. Friday, January 17th, Legends Casino Hotel. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss Lit and Fuel together live.
Find your next way to escape. Go where the adventure awaits you, in the heart of Washington State. Kittitas County is a land of 1,000 journeys. No matter what your heart desires, you can find it waiting for you in the outdoors of Central Washington. See all that you can see, and more will be just around the corner. Whether you're in Central Washington for one of our area's many local events, an historical expedition, a shopping spree, to enjoy a weekend of wine tasting, or just for a night's rest on your way to another destination, there are great Central Washington stays standing by to welcome you. Can you hear it? That's the vineyards of Central Washington. With a vintage for every taste, you're bound to find your new favorite. Meet the makers and hear the stories of how some of the greatest wine in the PNW came to be. To begin your experience, visit centralwashingtonoutdoor.com. Adventures, activities, dining, lodging, and more. It's all just around the corner in Central Washington.
Tonight, a beloved father who went missing and evidently told his best friends not to come looking for him.
Let's just say the phrase "over my dead body" takes on a new meaning.
Just when you think you know where the story is headed, things take a turn.
2020, tonight on ABC.
Kelly and Mark will get your heart racing.
She walks so fast.
You're supposed to walk to make your heart beat out of your chest.
Beating out of my chest, believe me.
Next live, Chase Stokes.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Here's your ski report brought to you by Schweitzer Village. And we're going to start off at Schweitzer. The base depth at 63 inches. Didn't experience any new snow over the past 24 hours. And then we'll take it down to Ski Bluewood, where also no new snow over the past 24 hours. The base depth still right at 50 inches. And then for White Pass, the base depth up to 60 inches. Also no new snow over the past 24 hours. These high temperatures are going to be much colder as we head into this weekend. Speaking of high temperatures, here is your forecast for today for Kittitas County. Right around freezing up towards Snoqualmie Pass for today. We'll have a hard time making it to 40 in the Kittitas Valley. Much lighter winds as opposed to yesterday. So we are expecting some more sunshine up in the Kittitas Valley and in the Cascades. Now for lower elevations, it's going to be a little bit more interesting as, you know, model consensus is going with sunny skies for lower elevations for today. But given that the winds are going to be so much lighter, we could see some of that cold air draining down into lower elevations. That could result in a layer of stratus clouds, maybe some low elevation gloom. But that's not what model consensus is saying for now. So it's going to be another one of those conventional wisdom versus what do the models say kind of days. And we'll just see who wins out. But temperatures around 40 in the Yakima Valley for today. We're thinking mostly sunny skies, really the same thing for the lower Columbia Basin. And then in the Blue Foothills, it's going to be the same thing, but much colder up in the Blue Mountains as we'll be mostly below freezing, and much colder lows, much colder highs and lows as we head into this weekend and into the beginning of next week. I'll tell you just how cold coming up in a few minutes.
Talking about sports now, Sean O'Malley has deep roots in the Tri-Cities. His father played football for Richland High School, and he helped the Suns win a state title back in the early 2000s. Our Dan Hansen takes us to where Sean is now and how he's still on the field.
It's home for me. It's kind of a place that molded me, taught me what hard work is.
Born in Richland, Washington, and a longtime resident of the Tri-Cities, Sean O'Malley remembers the area fondly. His love of sports is something that's ingrained in his everyday life. Known as a baseball player, O'Malley says he almost took a different path.
My brother went to college to play football, and it was just like kind of was trying to follow in his footsteps a little bit. And it was like the family sport you always wanted to be good at.
One of his coaches talked him into trading in the football helmet for a baseball bat. O'Malley says Tim Sanders was an instrumental part of molding him into not only a major league caliber baseball player, but the person he is today. O'Malley was drafted by the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays. He played for the Montgomery Biscuits, where he met what he calls the MVP of the family, his wife, Samantha.
I went to go see a Biscuit game, and I was just joking with my new friends, and I said, I'm going to marry me a Biscuit. And sure enough, that actually came true.
O'Malley eventually made his major league debut as a member of the Anaheim Angels as a pinch hitter for eventual Hall of Famer Albert Pujols. The Angels released O'Malley, and it didn't take him long to catch on with his childhood team, the Seattle Mariners.
Seemed too good to be true. And then, the first day I go to spring training, I run into Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner, and I'm sitting there like, is this real life?
O'Malley spent a few years with the Mariners before retiring in 2019. He got into coaching after a conversation with the Mariners scout, returning to the Mariners organization as a hitting coach for the Everett Aqua Sox, then the Arkansas Travelers, and now the Tacoma Rainiers. O'Malley says molding the young players is something he's passionate about.
If I can get them to listen to me, to believe in me, then I have a chance to make an impact in their life and in their career.
O'Malley is one of 4 members entering the first Southridge Suns Hall of Fame class in February, and he and Samantha now have 4 children, and he says that without his family and Coach Sanders, he wouldn't be where he is today. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, what do Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone all have in common? Well, aside from being actors, they're also on President-elect Donald Trump's radar. What he says he wants to do with Hollywood and more of your top stories is coming up in your morning sprint. But first, Josh will have your full weather forecast.
Start 2025 off right with a custom building from Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds. Cozy up to 10% off custom buildings. Need something right away? Get 20% off all in-stock inventory. It's the perfect time to create the space you've always wanted, with free, fast delivery and quality that'll stand up to the chilliest winter days. Whether it's for storage, hobbies, or just making room for your New Year goals, visit Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds and Sunnyside Shed Company today.
Find your next way to escape. Go where the adventure awaits you, in the heart of Washington State. Kittitas County is a land of 1,000 journeys. No matter what your heart desires, you can find it waiting for you in the outdoors of Central Washington. See all that you can see, and more will be just around the corner. Whether you're in Central Washington for one of our area's many local events, an historical expedition, a shopping spree, to enjoy a weekend of wine tasting, or just for a night's rest on your way to another destination, there are great Central Washington stays standing by to welcome you. And if a great brew is one of those things that's calling, Kittitas County is the place to be. Award-winning breweries with local flavors for every palate and a story behind every pour. Adventure awaits you all year long. To begin your experience, visit centralwashingtonoutdoor.com. Adventures, activities, dining, lodging, and more. It's all just around the corner in Central Washington.
My name is Chris Lee. I'm a dot worker and I do stuff around the dot area. Originally I started Richland in March 2012. I went from Richland to Tamlet. I just applied on their application. As soon as I'm in the interview, they hired me right on the spot. I did my training at the store. There was no bills or nothing like that. Now, when you tell me busy, you tell me not busy. It kind of varies from time to time. I just love the people here. Everybody enjoying my sense of humor. Just like working here.
Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
Kick off the new year with a great deal from Overturf Kia. The new 2025 Kia Sportage gives you 3 great ways to save fuel. Available with a fuel-efficient gas engine, a gas-electric hybrid, or as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. A new 2025 Kia Sportage LX Hybrid with all-wheel drive starts at just $32,335. Plus, get 5.99% interest for 72 months. Overturf Kia in Kennewick.
A waterfall, a footbridge, and more. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Richland. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. We haven't seen any fog this morning in the Tri-Cities. That's been confined to the lower Yakima Valley and Sunnyside, also up in the Cascades. And these would be patches of freezing fog as our temperatures for this morning right around freezing in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. Also, we are seeing temperatures right around freezing in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper for this morning, but all of us are going to need to bundle up as you're headed out the front door. A little bit later today will be cooler as opposed to yesterday. Will still technically be like a degree or two above average for this time of the year, so we'll end up near 40 degrees for the most part for lower elevations. And here's sort of the caveat in today's forecast. Model consensus going with mostly sunny to sunny skies for lower elevations, but just given that the winds are going to be much lighter for today, that could mean that cold air could drain down from the mountains into lower elevations. We could see a layer of stratus clouds, maybe some low elevation gloom. So all that's really up in the air. We'll see how it pans out. And then for tonight, overnight lows falling down into the 20s across the map. All of us are going to have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, the plumbing, and the people. And this is kind of going to be a similar setup, whereas model consensus once again going with mostly clear skies for lower elevations, but we do know, just given typical patterns, that we could see some patchy freezing fog specifically for the basin or the foothills or the valleys. We'll trend colder as we head into this weekend. The coldest day looking like it's going to be Monday, a little bit more seasonal into Wednesday and Thursday, but the coldest of the cold of this cold snap going to be for the mornings of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as lows could be down to around 15 degrees in the Cascades, Valleys, Basin, and foothills, down to around 10 degrees in the blue. So all of us need to make our plans right now to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, the plumbing, and the people. Here's the 7-day, or excuse me, I just wanted to touch on rain chances real quick. You can see they're going to be pretty low for the next 7 days. Now onto the 7-day forecast proper. For the Tri-Cities, high stuck in the 30s for Sunday and beyond. The coldest morning will likely be on Monday. In Yakima, lows down into the teens for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, only slightly warmer by next Wednesday and Thursday. Then in Ellensburg, the same cycle as Yakima, down into the teens for the mornings of Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then for Hermiston, highs in the 30s for most, if not all of next week. Monday morning will likely feature the lowest of the lows. And then in Walla Walla, highs around freezing for Sunday through Tuesday, then only partially thawing out by midweek of next week. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the off-screen war between It Ends With Us stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively is getting worse. And now Lively's superstar husband Ryan Reynolds added to the legal drama.
It actually gets worse, yeah.
No way. Baldoni, who also directed the film, suing the Hollywood couple for $400 million for defamation, extortion, and invasion of privacy. The suit coming less than a month after Lively accused Baldoni of sexual harassment and a retaliatory smear campaign.
I thought we were friends.
We are friends. In December, Lively filing a civil rights complaint claiming that while on that set, she was subjected to unacceptable behavior, including Baldoni allegedly showing nude photos of women and commenting on Lively's body. Claims Baldoni vehemently denies. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on the Lively Baldoni drama. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
It will never.
Kate made progress with her mental health, but her medication caused unintentional movements in her face, hands, and feet called tardive dyskinesia, or TD. So her doctor prescribed Austedo XR, a once-daily extended-release TD treatment for adults. Austedo XR significantly reduced Kate's TD movements. Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, Kate can stay on her mental health meds.
Oh, hi, buddy. Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, or have suicidal thoughts. Don't take if you have liver problems, are taking reserpine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo XR may cause irregular or fast heartbeat or abnormal movements. Seek help for fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, or sweating. Common side effects include inflammation of the nose and throat, insomnia, and sleepiness.
Ask your doctor for Austedo XR.
Now, the morning sprint.
It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off with your national headlines. At least 18 people remain missing in the Southern California fire zone. 2 new deaths have been confirmed, raising the death toll to 27. At least 12,000 structures have been damaged, including 10 schools. A break in the winds has allowed crews to gain ground, but winds are expected to pick back up next week. And this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court could issue an opinion on the TikTok ban that's set for Sunday. A delay might be possible. President Joe Biden says he's leaving implementation up to President-elect Donald Trump, who says he wants to review the ban. However, he cannot unilaterally override the law that was passed by Congress. Also, Trump claiming Hollywood has lost a lot of business over the last 4 years to foreign countries. Yesterday, he announced he will make Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone, quote, special ambassadors to Hollywood, saying the actors will be in charge of revitalizing the industry. Apple is temporarily pulling its latest AI feature following backlash. The feature summarizes news notifications, but recently it had repeatedly sent misleading or false headline summaries to customers. Users must opt into it, which will emphasize the information has been produced by AI, and the company says it plans to re-enable the feature in a future update. And the CDC is sounding the alarm on testing for bird flu. It issued an alert following a few mysterious bird flu cases. It's urging doctors and hospitals to perform advanced testing called subtyping for all hospitalized patients who test positive for the flu. So far, about 100,000 Americans have been hospitalized with type A flu this season. And now we go to your top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. First up, the Bend County Sheriff's Office is investigating a death after a body was found at Two Rivers Park in Findlay. It was found yesterday morning, and at this time, the preliminary investigation is underway to uncover the cause. A Grandview business owner lost everything after a fire on Wednesday, and a GoFundMe page has been organized to help her and her family. According to the organizer, the owner is awaiting to see if her insurance will help her. A total of 5 businesses inside the downtown building suffered damages. If you would like to donate, we have the link to the GoFundMe up on our Facebook page. And the FBI releases new details on the suspect behind the 3 ballot box fires in Washington and Oregon. Authorities say the suspect may have metalworking and welding experience. He's described as a 30 to 40-year-old Caucasian man who's either balding or has very short hair. The FBI is still offering a $25,000 reward for any info leading to the ID, arrest, and conviction of the suspect. And Rod's House in Yakima is gearing up to open its homeless shelter to serve 13 to 17-year-olds. It opened up in November, and it's been able to house over a dozen 18 to 24-year-olds. But now, thanks to a $30,000 grant from the Pacific Power Foundation, it can shelter those under 18, and this as soon as they get final state approval. The Washington State Department of Commerce announces 27 funding awards that'll help pay for affordable housing in 12 counties. It's estimated to total 1,282 new housing units. Locally, Kittitas County will benefit from a little over $3 million, and Yakima County will see $3.6 million. Trending this morning, cold and flu season is at its peak, and chicken noodle soup is one age-old remedy.
Progresso is making it even easier for soup lovers to get the feeling that comes from eating soup with traditional chicken noodle soup drops. Oh, man.
So Progresso says it's soup you can suck on. It's hard candy that's supposed to taste similar to their soups. Chicken noodle soup candy? That's bananas.
This limited edition item is only available this month. You can purchase them online now at your own peril.
20 drops come in a container that looks like a soup can. Okay, that's cute. And it's accompanied by an actual can of Progresso traditional chicken noodle soup. The cost of both is $2.49 plus about $1 for shipping. Would you try it?
This is coming from someone who was just sick last week. I think I'd rather just be sick.
If it's kind of like a cough drop and can heal like your throat, yes, I would. I mean,
I don't know. Cough drops are supposed to be like
it sounds like it could be soothing because
fruity. I feel like that's
sometimes they're minty, but chicken noodle soup flavor. I don't know either.
Sodium.
Well, it is chicken noodle soup weather out there. And
yes, and it's going to be even colder as we head into this weekend. First, I do want to take a look at these are current conditions. That's what it looks like right now in Richland. But the fog really just confined to the lower Yakima Valley, also up into the Cascades. Some of this could be freezing fog as temperatures in general across the area for this morning right around, if not below freezing. So a lot of us are going to need the ice scraper. All of us are going to have to bundle up. A little bit later today, highs up into the 30s and 40s, so cooler as opposed to yesterday. Model consensus going with mostly sunny skies for lower elevations. We do know that there's the potential that we could see some more low elevation gloom. And then we're tracking those very low lows for the mornings of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
It's chicken noodle soup weather with soda on the side.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website.
Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a great day.